Welcome to Community in Focus. In this edition, we will look at the grand opening and dedication of the brand new Westmont Public Library. Also, we celebrate the inauguration of the new mayor of Westmont, James Addington. So stay tuned for Community in Focus.
I always wanted to be like my father, order me a dry martini.
I saw that there was an image behind drinking, the people that drank, that they looked older and sophisticated.
I was 11 when I lost my virginity to a guy. I was 17 and I was drunk.
Drinking had taken me so far down I had to get out of my house.
Sometimes I'd sleep in the woods. If I didn't sleep in the woods, I slept on the corner. If I didn't sleep on the corner, I slept at someone's house who I didn't even know.
I had wound up in a lot of trouble with the law. I had wound up in jail.
When I was drinking, I was with a lot of guys, and a lot of guys used me.
I hurt my parents dearly, and I knew at the time I was doing it, but I didn't care, just as long as I got high.
I was so miserable. I hated myself. Every time I looked in the mirror, I wanted to cry.
Hey, yo, alcohol is a drug, man, and you can get hooked on it. And the younger you start, the more damage you can do. Word.
It's just no experience for no kids my age or anyone younger.
If you want to be somebody, have a family, have a future, just say no.
Say no and say yes to your life.
On Sunday, April 18th, one of the most long-awaited and anticipated events in recent Westmont history took place. The brand new public library threw open its doors for a festive and exciting grand opening and dedication ceremony. A large crowd was on hand to witness this proud moment for our community. The ceremony began with the presentation and raising of the flag by members of American Legion Post number 338 and the Pledge of Allegiance.
For more than 200 years, the flag of the United States has inspired us in peace and war. And though its form has changed often, as the nation it represents, we still affectionately call her Old Glory. So long as the love of liberty continues to burn in the hearts of mankind, the American flag will stand as a symbol of man's best hope. Okay, proceed to raise the flag. Everyone that's not in uniform, put your hand over your heart. Everyone in uniform, salute the flag. Two.
Next in the ceremony was the ribbon cutting. Many of the people responsible for the creation of this building were present. The library director, Moira Busey, James O'Brien, the executive director of the Suburban Library System, the architect, contractor, and entire library board of trustees were proudly standing at the front door as library board president Joe Kwasik cut the ribbon.
Here we go.
Once inside the new building, James Fillion, a representative of the architectural firm that designed the new library, made the presentation of the dedication plaque.
We, as we like to do with our projects, we like to make a couple of presentations to the owner, and in this case we've got the plaque for the building, which will be mounted out in the lobby. And I wanted to present that to Joe Kwasik, the board president, at this time. But I think, first of all, on a beautiful Sunday summer day, I think a quote would be appropriate. This happens to be from Martin Luther. Our Lord has written the promise of resurrection, not only in books, but in every leaf of springtime. Joe, with that, I'd like to present the plaque to you. And we have one more thing, George. I'd like you to present to Mr. Kwasik on behalf of us for the board.
Thank you, George, very much. Library to enjoy. Thank you.
More paper.
They work out.
After the presentation of the Globe, Library Board President Joseph Kwasik and the Executive Director of the Suburban Library System, James O'Brien, offered praise and congratulations upon the completion of the new building, and also welcomed Westmont's residents into their new library.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a wonderful day for us here in Westmont. When I came here 36 years ago, the library was in an old cab stand at the corner of Lincoln and Burlington. We've come a long way since then, and you people of Westmont should really be proud of what you have done. I would like at this time then to introduce you to the Board of Trustees. Oh, my name's Joe Kwasik. We have Diane Ryman, Jerry Sheed, Don Strohfeldt, Gene Law, Nancy Trevino, and Peggy Barron. These people have worked quite hard for the last 8 years in getting this project not only conceived and finally completed. They have spent many, many hours of time away from their families, in pure dedication to being of service to the community. Their efforts, as seen here in this building, are well appreciated. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to thank you for all the support you have given us, and again, congratulate you on the foresight that the voters, the community had to look to the future. The job is still not yet done. We still have a big mission. We're into the future. Where our journey takes us lies the future of our country. The schools can teach children how to learn, where to find the information. But the library is a storehouse where all of that information is. And I tell you, we are quite proud to be here. We will need your continued support, for this job is never done. We have a building now we have to fill it. We have to keep on planning for the future. one thing that this board has been able to do is forecast what are going to be the needs of this community. Some people looked at this building and said it's too big. I invite you to come here sometime during the day and see the traffic. You tell us if it's too big. Matter of fact, we have a contingency where we could add on to this thing. And it probably will happen sometime in the future. So my fellow Westmonters, let us pat ourselves on the back. Let us look up and let us look forward to the future. Thank you for all coming. I'd like at this time to introduce to you James Mike O'Brien. Mike is the Executive Director of the Suburban Library System. Mike?
Thanks, Joe. I'd like to echo Joe's congratulations to the members of the community. This facility was not built without a lot of toil and travail. When Moira first mentioned to me that the board had decided to seek community approval through a referendum, I was certainly pleased for her. I was pleased to be here when then Secretary of State Jim Edgar came to sign the contract that helped to provide some state and federal funding for the building. And I'm sorry that neither Jim Edgar nor Secretary Ryan nor Bridget Lamont could be here. It was kind of that sequence that brought me here. Moira called and said, "Nobody else is in town, could you come?" So I said, sure. I had anticipated a normal Sunday afternoon, and that's what it certainly is. It's a gorgeous afternoon. After I finished writing my half-hour speech, Moira called back and said, "Can you be brief?" And I said, sure. It's very easy for me to talk for half an hour. It's difficult to talk for only 2 or 3 minutes. I think the staff is going to have a great challenge in front of them as they serve you, the residents of the community. The challenge is going to be to try to meet your needs. And that's where the folks who work at the Suburban Library System offices try to help you folks indirectly. As a member of the Suburban Library System, you're one of more than 400 libraries that will bring resources to bear to serve your needs. And hopefully, as we bring the rest of the resources of the Suburban Library System to meet your needs, you won't even be aware of it. That's the strength that the Westmont Library provides in answering your questions. It's a gorgeous day. It's a beautiful building. I hope you'll take a few minutes to look through and then go back out and enjoy the sunshine. Thank you.
The crowd then proceeded to the second story of the library to witness the dedication of the Lorraine Fiedler Story Room.
I'd like to at this time dedicate the Lorraine Fiedler Story Room. There is we'll open the doors and you may... It opens. It's not back. There is a bulletin board with pictures of Lorraine from many years ago, and there's also a scrapbook with pictures of some of the children that are now adults. So please feel free to look through there and see some of the pictures. See if you can find your children in there. And thank you very much for coming, and refreshments will be served. Thank you all.
As well as refreshments being served, entertainment was provided by a singing group known as Cartoons.
Last night alone, on our way home, you turned and said to me, I want to eat, where is my treat? I need some junk food, you see. I long for some ice cream to swallow. I sigh for a fluffy French fry. Oh, Twinkies are kiki and donuts passe.
From the flag raising to the entertainment, this has truly been a historic and proud day for the people of Westmont. The construction of this landmark new facility certainly shows our community to be concerned not only with our people today, but also building for tomorrow. Stay tuned for more Community in Focus.
On May 3rd, the village of Westmont witnessed the end of one era and the beginning of another as Jim Addington was installed as the new mayor and Frank Bellerive stepped down. The evening began with the Pledge of Allegiance, something Jim Addington intends to include in all village meetings.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Frank Bellerive had some final words for the gathered crowd.
I'd like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude for the years of confidence by the people of Westmont and the years of team effort by the board, the staff, and the employees of this village for making it the fine place it is. It's always been a team effort. It's never been a one-man show at any time. It's always a composite of the effort of many, many people who dedicate their time and effort to making this place a better place to live. And of course, we recognize that fact, and we continue that. We hope to continue that on into the future. And I'm sure under my successor's able guidance, this will continue on.
Addington presented Bellerive with a plaque thanking him for his years of dedication to the village of Westmont.
All I can say is it's been an honor and a privilege to serve the village all the years I have, and I want to express my gratitude for the confidence that the voters have given me over the last 32 years. Thank you, and I appreciate it. And I'll always remember my friends here in Westmont. Thank you.
Anthony Paccio and Betty Werth took the stand, each thanking family and friends for their support. Werth took the time to call for an increased involvement in community affairs.
Yes, we have problems within our village, but the village board, police department, and other entities cannot solve all these problems by themselves. It takes all of us as a village as a whole working together to tackle the problems.
Pacillo wanted to reaffirm his commitment to the village and let everyone know that he was proud to be from Westmont.
So, folks, whatever you do, don't let anybody ever knock your town, because you have a very fine town here, and it's run by the very fine people on this board. We have a new mayor, and we're going to progress as we have previously.
After each took time to talk to the crowd, the Honorable Judge Rathje, a former village attorney, installed the two as trustees for the village of Westmont.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of trustee of the village of Westmont. To the office of trustee of the village of Westmont. To the best of my abilities. So help me God. Congratulations.
Elmer Fries wanted the crowd to know that Addington had his full support. He then surprised the crowd by having memorized his oath.
I state your name.
I, Elmer Fries, do solemnly swear that the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, the laws and the laws of the ordinances of the village of Westmont. So help me God.
Thank you.
I'll bet Elmer has sworn in more people than you have.
Then it was time for the main event as Jim Addington was sworn in as Westmont's new mayor.
I, James Addington,
Do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of village president
of the office of village president
for the village of Westmont
for the village of Westmont
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
After conducting some official business, Mayor Addington took the opportunity to speak.
Judge Ratchke, fellow board members, Frank Bellerive and Arlene, other former elected officials, relatives, friends, and constituents. To the voters of Westmont, thank you for your support. You know, 15 years ago, my wife told me one day I was going to end up being mayor. I told her she was dead wrong. Kathy, as always, you were right again. For those who don't know my wife, Kathy, I'll introduce her to you. If you'll stand for a moment. My daughter Lisa and my granddaughter Kristen. My son-in-law Len. Sister, who I used to terrorize the heck out of, Sue. My niece Amy. Mary and Joe McCullough, who are relatives but really better friends. And a lady who you've seen in the paper many, many times, not in this forum, but in others, Kendra Goodenough. We, us, and our. They're small words. But I want them to be the theme of this administration. Make us as a village socially and financially strong. How we, together, can continue to move forward. Our village, our community. Frank's administration has set a strong foundation. Now we need to build on it. We must continue to hold the line on the tax rate, stay out of debt, continue the strong programs on street upgrading, and putting a sidewalk on at least one side of every street in town to protect our kids, to maintain our commitment to restrict multifamily housing, to support our new Class 3 fire rating with new equipment and back Chief Trout in his new programs, to continue to support our street department and Don Thomas as he takes over from Joe Kosick, who will be retiring. And Clinton Webb and his people in our water department, Bob Sturkowitz in our finance department, Rod Habenreiser with ESDA, our excellent engineers Bill Latham and Steve May, and Bob Gleason and his excellent staff in our building department. To support our police department and Chief Metzger, to keep the gang threat out of our town. Your progressive village works. They're making movies here, and in 1996, just 3 short years from now, we will be celebrating 75 years of growth as a community. I believe we're standing on a threshold. To fall one way, change nothing, and be just mediocre, that base will not be built on. However, if we have the guts to leap the other way, break some regs, we can prepare Westmont for the 22nd century. It will take all of us, the board, myself, and you, to make this happen. I do plan to ask our village board to break some eggs, from the way we do business to the way our village board runs its meetings. We're going to hold planning sessions. No topic is going to be taboo. Don't be alarmed. We're not going to make decisions without input from you, our community, and especially input from those areas that could be affected. I want our board to address an ethics ordinance, not just for us, but for all of our planning boards and commissions. In the area of human services, we will explore the possibility of forming a youth commission to offer a positive force for our young people and a more active established senior citizen commission to work with the Park District on programs for the new senior center. We want to expand the community development area to continue to attract more new businesses to Westmont, possibly with an expanded office of the mayor devoted to this task. Your board will do a projection past the year 2000 and ask our other taxing bodies to follow suit to see how you will be affected with the future. In the area of communication, we will work with Continental Cable to provide access and have all our community boards televise their meetings and possibly even try to get some of our other commissions, like the Zoning Board and the Planning Commission, if not live, then at least taped and shown so that all of you can see your local government in action. We will put together a town meeting of all the local taxing bodies, the park, the schools, the library, and the village, where each of us can present our plans for Westmont to you, the citizens, what it's going to cost, and where you, the citizens, will be able to ask questions of your various boards. I would like to make this an annual event. I want to restart the President's Club of homeowners associations, service club presidents, church leaders, and others to periodically discuss our community. Finally, I plan on coming to you. Over the next couple of years, there will be informal get-togethers just to discuss your neighborhood. It's going to be no more than 2 or 3 blocks at a time. Might be in your backyard, the weather's nice, or in some other meeting place. But I want to hear from you about your concerns and what's going on in your neighborhood. If you hand something to me that needs to be discussed, it'll be put on a master list. That list will be maintained and given to the trustees at every meeting. And nothing will be removed from that list until it is completed or addressed or an answer given back to you. I would like to inform all of you this evening that at our next meeting, which will be on the 17th of May, we have a vacancy now, and I will be asking the board to confirm Mr. Richard Bussey to fill the opening on the board. Dick, would you stand for a minute? Dick Bussey is the kind of person that we want on the board. He lives in town, his business is in town, he's active in the chamber, he's active in Rotary, and he's been active in the village. He's a volunteer, and that's the kind of people that will continue to make this village go forward. Now that you have shown your faith and trust in me with the strong plurality at the polls, I pledge to do all in my power to maintain that trust and exceed your expectations. Together, we will make Westmont a greater place to live and work in. With our community, our boards, and our citizens all working together, I want all of us to be able to do like the Bears did back in 1985. Hey, put that chip on our shoulder and say, I live in Westmont. Thank you very much.
Former Mayor Frank Bellerive had the last words as the meeting came to a close.
Just one thing I'd like to say. Good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.